All right, welcome to it. It is 5 to go with DMac and Oren Lomena will join me here shortly. So we've got we got a little bit of a Nuggalanche going. We've got the Nuggets. There's my guy, Oren. Nuggets are going right now. Oren!
Yes, sir.
Well, what a difference the day makes for the stupid Nuggets, huh?
How about that, huh? Especially after Joker decided he was going to get vocal. I like the whole.
Ooh, I got that.
Pay guys a little less.
You want to start with that? I got that for you right here.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was last night after the game where Jokic was talking about the old country.
Reaction. In my country where I'm coming from, after this kind of stretch, you're gonna get a paycheck that is a little bit less than usual. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe a little motivation in that way. And one thing was the name of the great quote, like being benched. Being on the bench. I think that's a really good motivation too.
We're going in my country. We're going back. We're going to my country.
Yeah, we walked uphill both ways. I mean, seriously though, you need your best player. I didn't think he had this in him. I'll be honest with you, Mac. I didn't think he was this type of leader, but it wasn't abrasive, but it was very matter of fact, like he can be. And he's definitely somehow sent a message that got a response because they're just playing with energy that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and listen, Atlanta had been playing really well.
Yeah.
So after a horrific loss, I guess at the end of the day, like I didn't expect them to win this one. I expected them to beat Washington. So I guess at the end of the day, a win is just a win.
Sure.
I guess it's how you respond. So perhaps the loss to the worst team ever is mitigated by coming back and playing really well.
Yeah,
I guess.
I want this to not become a all things are forgiven moment, though. To be honest with you, you got guys on this team. I've been ruminating on this, Mac, since that Washington loss, and I know.
Give it to me.
Well,
by the way, let me state right now for those watching along, the Nuggets are up 124-101. I mean, they're kicking Atlanta's ass. And they basically have been the entire game. All right, your thoughts?
A couple things. There's a Jamal Murray thing that's just stuck in my craw that I'm not going to get rid of.
Where is Jamal, by the way?
There's my question for you. Him not to be on the bench. I mean, he was not hot. He didn't hobble off in the last time we saw him on the court. So I'm assuming whatever he's going through, he could have traveled with the team and has chosen not to. And I've just heard more than enough about.
I was told he's there with the team, though, but he's not on the bench.
Why wouldn't you be on the bench then?
I do not have an answer to that question.
Oh, so it brings me to what I've been ruminating on. When you look at the guys who have rings on this team, the Zeke Najis, the Peyton Watsons, with the exception of Christian Brown and Michael Porter Jr., I got to be honest with you. None of all those guys are suffering from nothing ventured, nothing gained-itis, in my opinion, with the exception of Christian Brown because he contributed during that championship run. But you guys like Zeke Najee, Peyton Watson, who effort doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to be a great player to show great effort. You know what I mean? To give a fuck, to show that you care. And what I think we've seen out of this team far too many times are guys, it's not Mike Malone's job to make Peyton Watson a better basketball player. Right. Contrary to popular belief. That's Peyton Watson's job. You're getting paid enough money. Go and work on your game, whatever that means to you. Same thing with Zeke Najee. I'll take exception with Malone when it comes to him being an immovable force, when in certain regards with his rotation. But quite honestly, it's not his job to make these guys just better basketball players. It's not his job to make them pros. And I think too many guys on this team were smelling themselves, and I don't even understand how, because you did nothing to earn the accolades that your balls are swinging from. I just, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my thing. And then I do think, though, that it starts, quote unquote, at the top with one particular guy. And I got to tell you, Mac, I can be the reactionary guy, so I'll just say it. I want him gone.
Yeah. I don't think you're the only one, but I keep, when I brought this up, I keep being told his contract is just untradeable. It's immovable. So
it's gonna suck.
I'll tell you this. this is a huge win, man. It's a huge win.
For sure.
And if you can keep it together, okay. But if you can't trade Jamal Murray, you can't do it. And Michael Malone, I think, was the one that fought for him. I would be worried if I was Michael Malone about my job.
Absolutely. And he should be.
I think Michael Malone's got to get this together with Jamal Murray, which leads me to wonder, the one guy you can trade is Michael Porter Jr. Now, I don't really want to trade Michael Porter Jr.
Me either.
He's played actually really well, including tonight.
Yeah.
Right now, he's got 26 points, 12 of 17 shooting. Did not shoot great from three.
But he got a lot of work done in the paint. He got a lot of work done in the paint.
A lot of work done in the paint. But then again, of course, Oren, you can't just trade shit guys. You got to trade good guys. I mean, those are the only people that have any value. So listen, if you can turn it around and get it all to work, fine. Fine by me. Fine by me. I think they're playing better tonight, but I think Atlanta is also having an off night too. You
might know this better than me. Give me one of the most inequitable trades you can think of in the history of sport. Like one that you just saw, like Herschel Walker, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that led to 3 championships for Dallas. So yeah, that's a good one.
How much would you be willing to lose to get a potential cancer out of your?
I don't want to go that far with Jamal. Man.
Okay,
is that where you're going? I mean, I'm not.
That's where I'm at.
I'm not going to go that far.
Let me ask you something, Matt.
I don't think they can do it anyways, though, because I'm like, who's going to do the? If you trade with anybody, they have to take on his contract. Who's going to do that?
Well, you gotta look for a team that feels like they can rehabilitate what he is. And when I say cancerous, I don't know if Jamal is a good or a bad person. I don't know Jamal. What I know is he's a bad teammate. And you know how I know that? Is he on the bench?
He is not on the bench.
Yeah. Has he exemplified leadership qualities in terms of just the way he approaches his demeanor on the court?
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying too, because the whole video of him waving off Aaron Gordon when AG's trying to get him together, it's terrible. It's a terrible look. It's a terrible look.
Bad team.
Terrible look.
He's an I guy in the worst we situation because he's playing with the ultimate we player. He's got to go. I'm serious.
But how do you listen? If there's a way to do it, I'm not against it. It was pretty funny, by the way. I don't know if you caught this, but like Scott Hastings was listening to our 5 to go the other night and what you had to say about Toronto. And Scott just brought it up on the radio. He was just like, well, Oren, you're doing a show with Oren. I go, yeah, it's great. He goes, yeah, well, what Oren was saying. And then he starts referencing it. I'm like, oh my God, like nobody listening is going to know what Scott's talking about.
Yeah, I am an oracle.
But it's like, it wasn't like the greatest radio in the world. Like, and I was like, am I really going to recap on the radio what Oren talked about on the podcast?
Of course you are.
But it had to do with, trading for RJ Barrett and Grady Dick with Toronto and kind of went through all that sort of stuff. So I'll just let you know, Scott didn't think that was the craziest thing in the world. He kind of liked it, I think.
Let him run it up the ladder because I do think Jamal can be redeemed. Let me not make this personal. And it never is. I think that's the biggest crock with players that get all personal and butthurt. We're talking about your professional performance as a basketball player.
Yeah.
And he can always resurrect that and be the blue arrow that everyone knows and loves. Whatever's gone sour.
Hey, let me say something real quick, because it may happen, and I want to just mention it before it happens. Jokic, and I'm watching here, so I might be a little behind you. He's got 48 points. He's got 48 points, Oren. Who was the last player to go back-to-back nights 50-plus points in the NBA history? Are we talking about like Wilt Chamberlain? So, are they taking him out? Oh, they're taking him out.
They took him out.
No!
They took him out.
No, you can't take him out.
Michael Malone.
What are you doing?
Michael Malone is.
You cannot do that.
Michael Malone is a meatball.
You cannot do that. What the fuck? You can't do that. You can't do what?
You cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Oh my God! You got to give him one possession left, don't you?
You got to give him one. Mike Malone is a meatball, yo. I love him.
I cannot believe that just happens.
I can. He's just that.
Oh my God.
He's all
they
out of
took out Yoke a bucket away from 50. He would have had back-to-back 50s. Oh my God, Oren. Oh my God. I mean, I'm not into rubbing it in and all that, but
no,
come on, man.
This is about, I think, paying it forward with your best player.
Back-to-back. Hey, you think LeBron's coming out of that game?
Exactly my point. And Jokic has made it pretty clear. He's like, okay, screw it. I got to score. Well, then I'm scoring Jokic. Now I'm the most devastating offensive force that you've ever seen, for real, for real. You let him get the 50 ball. I
cannot believe that just happened, bro. I can't believe that just happened. I mean, whatever. You're up by 30, so I mean,
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, at this point, I feel like Mike Malone's can't get right.
They just took him out. He's one basket for 50. What the hell?
Oh man.
All right. Anyways, whatever. Nice bounce back night
for sure
for the Nuggets. To get this huge ass kicking. And now all the scrubs are in. So, do you know anything about PJ Hall?
Just that his name is PJ and last name Hall.
He's actually a pretty good player. The thing that blows me away is how some of these guys have these crazy college careers that are pretty impressive. And PJ Hall was actually pretty good in summer league and in preseason.
I like his haircut.
Yeah, but he's a two-way guy. So is so are a bunch of these guys.
How about
Jalen Pickett?
How about Jalen Pickett's minutes tonight?
Really, you know what? In all honesty, how about Zeke Naji out with the Super Scrubs and the Grand Rapids team? How about Zeke out with those guys? How about
that? I'm so over the Zeke Naji thing.
Zeke Naji, who makes $8 million a year,
crazy,
is out there with Jalen Pickett, Trey Alexander, PJ
Hall,
Hunter Tyson, who plays, and there's Zeke Naji.
I mean, I think I saw what Malone doesn't like in his in the DC game. I think it's these guys don't work on their game, Mac. I don't know any other way to say it.
Hold on, let me point this out though.
Go ahead.
So it's after the game yesterday, and Zeke didn't. I don't know what Zeke did, but he was out there. This is because Scott Hastings and Katie Winchie were doing their post game, and there's Zeke out on the floor after the game. Putting up shots.
Okay. I like it. It's about damn time.
His reward was to go into the game with the Grand Rapids Nuggets as they
hey, I'll try now, coach. What the hell?
And he got an and one right there. As soon as I'm ripping on him, he gets that's
what he needs. Work. I'm in kicking the ass mode right now. I don't have any. There's no love lost. They're all professionals, and they're getting a well-deserved ripping. So. No mark.
All right. Well, at least they bounced back and got a win.
They did. And that's what matters. I think, I'm one of these guys who, if it doesn't look like you got a real good shot at it, I think you need to be in the mode of getting yourself together as a roster.
No.
I don't think the Nuggets by any stretch of the imagination are going to win an NBA title this year. I just think you'd have to ask for a Herculean. Let me stop short of that. It could happen. Because the sum of their parts, I think, is championship caliber. But the attitude is so, I think, broken. The culture. So now I'm just like, okay, how do you fix it? And it's getting guys up and getting guys out and getting guys in who actually know how to play with a guy like this. I heard Bogdanovich being thrown around as a, because he and Joker know each other. They're Serbian. They got a background. They played against each other. I just don't want the Jokic years wasted, and I refuse as a fan to sit back and soft shoe any of this shit. There it is.
Yeah, well, that's final.
There it is.
I think that's fair, and I think hey, listen, Jokic has given us the in my country speech.
I loved it. I was like, okay, that's gonna shake things up.
In my country.
My country. We drag you behind. In my country. You might get dragged behind shit.
Dude, when you get the "in my country" speech,
you
not good.
You done fucked up. I love it. There is not a more unassuming superstar, and he was dominant tonight. Mac, let me ask you.
Yeah.
On a scale of most importantly, or even if it's just a ceremonial firing.
Yeah.
You got Jamal Murray, you have Michael Malone, you have Calvin Booth. Who are you looking at? Who should be sweating if Mac's calling the shots?
Well, well, right now, nobody. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can get this. Jokic is talking to Katie.
Yep, get it.
Because if could we get another "in my country" would be amazing. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. I am gonna get it. Give me a second. Okay, here we go.
Right away from the defensive end, and it just carried itself throughout the entirety of the game.
In 24 hours, Nikola Jokic produced 104 points, 30 rebounds, 16 assists, and 4 steals, and he still had enough time to catch up with Katie Wingy.
All right, Nikola, after a tough loss, you said this team was headed in the wrong direction. How does a win like this?
I think the first time in a long time we held the team under 20 points. We played good. We scored a lot of points, of course. The energy was better. We kind of they had a lot of offensive rebounds, but I think the whole energy was a little bit better than yesterday.
For you, 56 points yesterday, 48 points tonight. What's been your mentality, your approach the past couple days?
I mean, I don't know, just maybe being aggressive. The ball is finding me, the ball is going in most of the time. So, just one of those nights.
You didn't have to do it alone this game. Your teammates helped you out. You put up 141 points. Everybody that got into the game scored. How would you describe how they stepped up?
Yes, I mean, everybody stepped up. I think Julian's playing really good. Russ is playing really good. We had AG came. He didn't play last game, and the CB played. I think it was a good win for us.
Did you know that half-court shot was going in when it left your hands at halftime?
I mean, I was trying to shoot it to make it, so sometimes goes in. Actually, most of the time doesn't go in, and sometimes goes in. So,
congrats on the win again. Thank you.
He's just
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
We're looking at it.
Nope.
He passed Magic Johnson on, or is he tied, or did he pass him yet?
No, he passed him. He passed him triple doubles.
Passed Magic Johnson on the triple doubles list with the guy that he's chasing on the roster, who I love when him and Joker I love when Russell Westbrook and Joker on the floor at the same time, to be honest with you. He is quite literally, it cannot be understated, he is the best player in basketball, and he deserves better. So, get him better.
All right, let me answer your question, because you said right now I wouldn't do anything right now. However, the Jamal injury is a hamstring injury. Mm-hmm. I'm rolling my eyes at that. What Jamal needs is time to not play and to chill and figure life out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if it's because of a hamstring injury, fine. I think Jamal needs like a 2-week break, just whatever. I mean, just go sit on a beach somewhere, go find a cloudy overlook, like ponder where your place in the world is, whatever you need to do, and maybe climb to the top of the hill to get in a little bit better shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about a couple weeks just to clear your head and just physical fitness wise, just, kind of get back to it. Seriously. Like, go to a Zumba class, I don't know, do whatever you need to do. Sit on a pond hockey, sheet of ice, do a Canadian thing, whatever you do up there in Canada.
Go to a couple UFC fights.
Sure. You know what? Fine by me. Seriously. Rodman needed to go to Vegas for a few days. You need to go to some UFC fights. I mean, that wouldn't be a great look, but if you need to do it, do it. Because when you come back, so I wouldn't do anything right now, except I would give Jamal a break, okay?
Okay.
Now, in that couple of weeks, and you see how valuable Aaron Gordon is. Didn't play yesterday, played today. AG is dynamite. AG is one of my favorite players of all time. Okay? Love AG. Like Michael Porter Jr., and he's playing better and more physical inside. That's a good thing, too. They put up more three-pointers. You just got to shoot more three. They didn't shoot a lot more, frankly. They shot 27. That's not a ton, but they were 12 of 27. They shot 44%. And this is why I say the Hawks were off. They jacked up 43 pointers, Oren, but they only hit 9 of them. And the Nuggets just need to shoot more three-pointers, or I don't know, whatever.
I just cringe at that, but keep going. All
right. So what I would tell you, 2 weeks off for Jamal. Let's revisit January 1st. The season doesn't really start till Christmas anyway, so you get through that. Now, if it still doesn't work with Jamal after that, then Michael Malone's in big trouble.
Yep.
Michael Malone is in big trouble because I think he pressed for Jamal. I like Michael Malone. I'm a fan of Michael Malone, okay? If Jamal comes back and actually plays pretty good and they still lose, that means they have problems with depth. If that happens, Calvin Booth is probably in trouble if that's the case. And Calvin Booth will probably, in the meantime, at least do a depth trade, which means trading Zeke Naji for something, anything. Right. And maybe a Trey Alexander or Jalen Pickett or, somebody else. If Jamal's back and playing okay and they're still not winning, that's on Calvin Booth. If Jamal plays poorly, that's on Michael Malone. And there you go. So I think, Oren, in my opinion, it could really go either way, but unless they just play great and they just start playing great. Sure. And we had Michael Malone on our radio show, and he's breaking the season down into like a 20-game clump. And he goes, well, if we go 15-5 or 14-6, we'll be all right. And I agree, actually.
He's not wrong.
No, that's right. So what are they now? They're
2 games over 500.
Yeah, so they're kind of 1-1. Well, actually, this was the 21st game. Okay, I mean, Oren, if we want, I'm sorry, they're 12-10. So they're 1-1.
Yeah.
After the 20th game, they're 1-1. 1 win, 1 loss. So
okay, you only got 4. You only get 4 more.
Right? Maybe 5, but right, correct. Yeah. Maybe 6 if you want to go 13-7, but 13-7 would be pushing it. 13-7 would be pushing it, right?
Because the rate of separation at the top, which again, this isn't a team. Does this look like a team, Mac, that can fight its way out of the play-in?
Well, their first 20, Oren, they were 11-9. Okay, and that is not good enough. No. It's not. 13-7 is like the absolute floor. Like maybe if you're 13-7 after the next 20, things stay as they are. But anything worse than that, and there's got to be some change. There's got to be change.
The 20-game breakdown, and the reason why you want to be better in that first quarter, or at least by the second half, is because an NBA season is probably too long. But now you don't want to give yourself from game 50 on to try and win the better part of 70-80% of your games when you're just more fatigued and you got to go into the playoffs. That's the reason why you play your best basketball first, so that you can lay up a couple in the middle, so you can take a couple of games where you can give yourself a blow. But it's all playoff positioning down the stretch, and that's where you blew it.
By the way, this comment, Oren, Jamal for Jordan Poole passes the spot rack trade machine. Hey, did you see the Jordan Poole celebration after the game, during the game?
I did. That dude has no self-awareness.
It's like, this is the worst He's holding his nose like he's in a pool.
It's like, brother, and, I'm out here with them. So,
dude, is it the worst celebration of all time?
The worst celebration of all time with the worst team of all time. I was talking to my niece last night. We were at a birthday dinner, and she could care less about sports, and that's why I love her. And so she's like, well, the Wizards, I mean, it's a powerful mythical creature. Like, it's a terrible name for a sports team.
Oh my God.
Oh, merciful Percival.
Go ahead.
Malone.
No. I'm looking for something. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't want to belabor the point. Trades for Jamal, though, I am entertaining everything and anything. And I would almost take undervalue if somebody's willing to get his contract off your hands because they think he's not far removed from his best years. Best years. He's not far removed from the glimmer of hope that guy could be an all-star. But a change of scenery sometimes does that good. I think it has the same effect as benching a guy. I think it has the same effect as taking money out of a guy's pocket, although you can't do that because all their money is guaranteed. I'm just of the opinion that Mike Malone, I think you said it best. Mike Malone is at the hip. He is attached to Jamal. And that is probably to his own detriment for his job, because I would imagine that you're right. He's the guy that fought to get Jamal that cash. He's the guy that we got to look at. We got to
make way for our guy, Dan Tanner, with In the Paint. We will have 5 to go react with Matt Smith for the Avs. Looking good for the Avs. They're up 3-0 on Jersey as they go to the second intermission. But I want to get your react to the Vikings and doing the white chicks dance for their touchdown celebration.
I thought that was, listen.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Here's the Vikings and the white chicks dance. Come on, video. Come on, video. Work. Play. Okay, here we go.
This is so awesome.
I mean, look how the nuance. Boom.
The kid play kick step, up and over. The through was what? What would have been best if one of those guys got hurt doing that? He's just on IR.
All right, dude. Did you know that was the white chicks dance?
I had no idea. I saw the same thing that you saw on Twitter, and I didn't know what the celebration was from. But it's even better when you hear it with the sound. It's just like
is the white chicks dance iconic? Am I
yes,
missing?
That movie is
iconic.
Movie is iconic. Yeah.
Okay.
The Wayans brothers didn't make many, but that one, and Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Jizz and the Juice in the Hood. Those are their two. Those are their two.
All right. We'll make way for Dan Tanner and In the Paint, and then we'll have 5 to go and Oren tomorrow night. With Good News Travel Fast at 7 p.m. And hey, the Nuggets get a nice win. We'll take it.
Good.
All right. Final thoughts. Give me some final thoughts.
Way to get back on the schneid. The whole point is hope is not lost and get as many wins as you can. Still not happy, but that was a great win. That was a great win because they did it defensively. All
right, my man. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. All right. We'll see you, everybody. Bye.
Later.